Hi everyone. Welcome to Sit, Sip, and Knit, my little knitting podcast here on the internet. My name is Marie and I'm coming to you this Sunday, April 18th, I think it is, from just north of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This is podcast number 5. And I'd like to, as always, thank those of you that have been watching me from the start, that have liked and subscribed to my channel here, and also to welcome anybody new that may come along. I hope you enjoy this podcast, get some information from it, some ideas for yourself. And if you do, I would very appreciate you liking and subscribing. Today I'm going to show you a couple finished objects. I have 2 finished objects, one right here you see, and a little hat. And let me tell you, I finished these 2 items in about 45 minutes. How you say? I will show you in just a moment. I also have a couple works in progress, and I will also go over and show you the slipper socks that I am planning to do, have talked to you about on the last podcast. In 1 week, I will be putting out instructions for the slipper sock along, done on Flexiflips. So more of that to come in a few minutes. But right now, grab your cup of whatever you might be drinking. I have some nice coffee here in my sister's mug, as you can see here. Very cute. Grab whatever you like to drink and sit, and let's talk about some knitting. The first thing, like I said, is this scarf here. Let me take it off here. That I did this probably in about 30 minutes, honestly, if even that. It's out of this blue gradient type yarn. It has navy blues, and it goes into this pretty lime green and the cream here. It's just done in a tube, so this isn't it is a tube, as you can see here, and just folded on itself, a long tube. And I just tied off the ends. I was going to put pom-poms, but these look like little rosettes on the ends here, so I don't know, I might leave it like that. But I did this, and let me show you what I did that out of. I did do that scarf out of Rosetti Yarns Alpaculence, and that's this right here, this beautiful gradient thin. It's a I think it's a fingering, fine fingering weight yarn here, and the makeup of it is alpaca, wool, acrylic, and some glitter, as you can see that you might be able to see there. So pretty. So that scarf was made with 1 of these. And then my second finished object that I did in about, like I said, 45 minutes, believe it or not, and I'll tell you how I did that in a moment, is this little hat here for my 2-year-old grandson. It hasn't been blocked or anything, but it was also done in a tube, and then turned in on the top and bottom of the tube was secured like this, just tied it off and turned on inside on itself and secured the top and the bottom here, and then just folded up the brim. So like I said, this fits, it's very stretchy. This one was actually done out of, let me show you here, Cascade 220 Superwash Merino in color number 47. This pretty Dynamine color here. So that's what I didn't use a whole skein on that, but yeah, so just a cute hat. Could put a pom-pom on it. Very easy, very quick, because what I saw on another podcast I was watching, excuse me, I have some alpaca. On another podcast I was watching, actually, they had purchased a knitting machine, a circular knitting machine right here. This is the name of it, Centro. And I will put that information below, as well as patterns and any links below that you can refer to. But this knitting machine, I thought that it would be a great way to use up some of my stash, because I have a large stash, as a lot of us do. And also I thought it'd be an easy way for my granddaughter, even my grandson tried it. You just thread the yarn on the machine and just crank away. It makes a tube. There's also a way you can make panels. I haven't tried that. But anyway, my 10-year-old granddaughter helped me crank away. She's learned, I've taught her how to cast on, but they get pretty bored after a while, and she's never finished anything. So I thought this was a great way to get her involved and use up some of my yarn. And it actually worked. I actually made another scarf, and my sister snatched that one. I made the tube and then put the ends together and just made a like an infinity scarf. So very quick, very easy to do. I did have to get on another YouTube channel and find out how to really use the machine. But like I said, it was quick. Was it as fun as hand knitting? No, of course not. But great way to use up yarn. So something you might want to try if you have a large stash like me, or some grandkids or children that you want to get involved in the making of some things. All right, so that was that. The other finished object I have, and I may or may not have shown this in the past, the sweater here. I'll kind of try to stand up here. I love this sweater. I think I made it last fall. It's a top down with the short sleeves. You can make it long sleeved. I'll show you the pattern here real quick. The pattern is Yume. I think that's the name of it. Yume by Isabell Kraemer. Yeah, you can see that you can make it with the short sleeves or the longer sleeves. I did not use the yarn that they suggested in the pattern. I used, let me show you here. I used universal yarn called Finn. I have the ball here, but not this color. This is a beautiful jade. It's called jade color. But you can see it has a little bit of a halo to it. It's a DK weight. The makeup of it is part acrylic, superwashed merino wool, and alpaca. So it's a nice blend. It's soft, but it does have that little bit of like I said, a halo. But it's very wash and wear, which I love. I wear this all the time. Wash, wear, beautiful. The pattern is just beautiful to make. A little bit of lace, tiny bit of lace to keep it interesting. Yes, is there a lot of stocking net stitch for the body, and especially, I did make it longer. This pattern is a little bit longer, but that's how I like my sweaters. Probably why I don't make long sleeves, because I make the body of my sweaters long. But anyway, yeah, a nice first sweater for those of you that haven't done one. And also the little bit of lace here, if you wanted to try some lace, just some yarn overs, knit two togethers. Very easy, fun to do sweater. So I will put that information below also. All right, so those are my finished objects. I do have a couple of works in progress, some new works in progress. Not even works in progress I showed you on the last episode. I'm still working on those too, but of course I had to cast a couple more things on. Why not, right? But anyway, that's the fun of knitting. You know, you see a yarn you like, you see a pattern you like, and you know, why not? I do mine, I switch off on mine. Some people like to do one and do it and get it done, and that's perfectly fine. Me, I like to switch on and off. It's very rare that I work on one project at a time, unless I'm under a timeline to get something done. But anyway, let me show you this work in progress, which is just adorable. This is, let me find the pattern here real quick. This is called, and I'll show you in a minute, but the pattern is Bloom, as you can see there. It's this very sweet little dress, or when the child outgrows the dress, it stretches to fit like a shirt. So how adorable is that, right? So it is called Bloom. It's by Geogie Hallam, Petiteknits.com. I will link all of that below for you, but that's the pattern that I'm doing, and this is for my 7-month-old granddaughter. Let me show you how adorable this is. Well, it's on the needles here, but I'll turn it this way. See how adorable. It's top down, the little sleeves, when you bind off, the sleeve is done. I just love that. And then it has a little bit of eyelet here and a little bit of an eyelet pattern that you repeat. I had this pretty pink yarn. I thought about a solid color, but I just thought this is summery and very sweet for a little girl. So that's what I'm doing that in. Let me show you the yarn I'm doing that in. That is done in Uptown Dk Magic, if you can see that here. It's an acrylic yarn, anti-pilling. It works up beautifully. It is beautiful, and you'll see in the next project, I'm actually using that also on the next project. That type of universal yarn, same thing, an acrylic. Wash and wear for a child. I mean, you can't get any better than that. But anyway, this color that I'm using is, let me show you here, color number 701, Pink Tango. Do you see that? Let me see if that'll focus there. Like I said, I will put, there we go, I'll put all the information below. But you can see it works up the pattern here, patterning itself. What could be easier, right? So I'm working on that. Actually, I'm about halfway done, and I just started that maybe 2 days ago. So that's something I've been working on. I want to get it done for my little granddaughter. So that's one work in progress. Another work in progress I have here, like I said, I'm also using universal yarn. It's a universal yarn type of day. But anyway, I love their yarn. It's wonderful yarn. This one is Uptown Dk. It is also an anti-pilling acrylic, and it is an acrylic. This color, it looks a little more aqua on camera, but it's a little more green in real life. The color number is 114, SEA is the color name. Like I said, yeah, it's looking a little bluer, but it's actually a little more greener. Maybe on the sweater I'm making, you'll be able to see that. But I started, let me see, the pattern for that is, oh boy, yes, where is my pattern for that? That is, I'm so sorry. Now I lost all my notes here. On that note, maybe I'll take a Maybe I need a drink of coffee here. All right, I have it here. This is the Anker sweater, a very popular sweater that a lot of people have made. Anker, A-N-K-E-R, and for some reason I don't have the pattern here, but that is what that the sweater is I'm making in that Uptown Universal yarn. Let me show you it here. It's also a very easy, I'm into the little bit of mindless knitting, I think, right now, but it is a very easy pattern also to do, top down with this little bit of yoke here, and then stockinette stitch down. As you can see, I've split for the sleeves. And I started this probably maybe a week ago. So between those two sweaters, so I've gotten pretty far, I think. Anyway, that is my Anker sweater. Like I said, a lot of people have made this sweater. I'm going to make it short. It's like a tee. It's a tee, basically. And in this acrylic yarn, this lightweight, you can see it's not real, it's a DK weight. I think it'll be, this is the kind of things I need to wear to work, air conditioning. I'm always cold, but I don't want to be too warm. So with the acrylic yarn, wash and wear for work, where I work, that's what I need right now. I love the wool sweaters, and I am plan to do color work, wool, long sleeve, pullover sweater, but I'm trying to get this done so that I can actually wear it to work this spring. So that is number 2 of my my work in progress here. Okay, let's see. The other thing I wanted to talk about, I acquired some things and I wanted to show you. Working on so many projects that I do at one time, I'm always looking for progress keepers and stitch markers, that type of thing. And so I went ahead and ordered some stitch markers I saw online. And let me show you this here. It's called Tiny, here, I'll put this up here for you. This is it. Let me show you what I got from that shop. Look how cute. It came in this little bag here. See how cute? And then I just found it online. Look at these little progress keepers. They're little hearts. How cute are they? Right? All the different colors. Just adorable. And that's what I needed. Just a bunch of progress keepers. So that's that. And I will link them below if you, you know, want to go and check them out. All right. The other shop that I've shown in the past and really love, I love Melissa. She is with Knitty by Nature Shop. This is her, and I'll link her below also. I went ahead and picked up a couple sets, springy type sets here with the little butterflies, progress keeper, and some very pretty little beaded stitch markers. So look how cute those little butterflies are. Anyway, so that is, like I said, Knitty by Nature Shop. So I'll link her below if you want to go and check that out. All right. And the reason that I said, you know, with so many projects, I needed more stitch markers and progress keepers. Coming up, as I had mentioned, and I mentioned last podcast, are my knit along with our slipper sock knit along. Okay, that will start next Sunday. I will put out another video. It will be a little short tutorial. I will do as many as it takes to get through the knitting of a slipper sock for you. So, but I wanted to show you, I did a little sample up here, and this is what you will be learning to do. I don't know if I showed you that or not, but this is a pattern that I worked up myself, and I did write it up, and I will put that in the tutorial so that you have that handy, and it'll be free to you, that you can use with the Flexiflips, as I talked about last podcast. So if you missed that and want to go to podcast number 4 to see the information there, and plus I will put below to any new subscribers that want to join us, you're welcome to join us. It won't be live, so they'll be out there. You can join at any time. I just wanted to give you guys some time to gather your supplies together. And I did tell you that these slipper socks will be made on size 8 Flexiflips. You can do socks on a number of different ways. If you've never done socks, I wondered if anybody wanted to try the Flexiflips, and I got a great response to that. So that's what the pattern was written up for. But you can certainly use magic loop if you're a magic looper. You can use 9-inch circulars. You can use double points. I will kind of hit on those, talk about those also, but mainly the pattern was written for the Flexiflips. But if you've never done socks, you'll be learning about the anatomy of making a sock, which there are a number of ways to make a sock. This is made with Malabrigo yarn. It's a worsted weight, so it is thicker. That's why I'm calling it a slipper sock, because it is thicker. You can certainly wear it in a boot or however you want, or just around the house. Malabrigo is a superwash wool that the Rios. This was made with the Rios, which I had put out before, but you can certainly use any type of worsted weight yarn that you want to use. I would suggest a lighter color, just because it's easier to see your stitches and read your stitches if you're new to making socks. If you know how to make socks, but you just want to try the Flexiflips, you know, whatever you want to use is perfectly fine. But in that first tutorial, I will be going over, like I said, the anatomy of the sock first. And we'll talk about that, and we'll get started with a cast on. I'll talk about cast-ons and doing the top portion here. If you can see a few little hit or misses here in this sock, that's because this is my sample sock, and I was also I am a thrower or English knitter, style knitter. I can do continental. I was practicing both ways so that I can show you both ways, whichever way you do you knit. So anyway, so I'll have you covered. So we'll be talking about that on next week, in about a week. But like I said, I wanted to show you what to have ready if you haven't already gotten your supplies. If you want to do how the pattern was written, and what I will mainly be using for this slipper sock along, the size 8 Flexiflips, a worsted weight yarn or a size 4 yarn. Like I said, this is Malabrigo. It's superwash wool, so it's comfy. I've made pairs before, and they hold up really well. But whatever you want to, try or practice on is perfectly fine. I also would like you to have at least one progress keeper and at least one stitch marker. Okay, that is what you'll need to keep track. And at the end, you will also need a darning needle, but that's not to the end. So anyway, I will again put the information below, and look for that Slipper Sock Along podcast in about a week. And like I said, let me know if you'd like to subscribe, join us. If you have any questions, my information will be below. You're always welcome to send me an email, or message me here on YouTube, whatever you feel. I will be there to make sure that you will end up with 2 of these slipper socks. So I think that'll be fun. So I think that's all for this podcast. I really, like I said, appreciate you liking and subscribing. And please join me in a week for the Slipper Sock Along. If you're new to socks, please join us, even to get some information, and you might want to try and you're not sure. There will be as many of those tutorials, I would say probably at least 6 of them, to walk you through step by step on how to get 2 of these and end up with a pair of warm, cozy slipper socks. All right. Again, thank you for watching, and happy knitting.